Hey there, Mariners fans. This is Briere back again with another episode of Hockey at Home. Today we have on Danny Briere and Coach Riley Armstrong, both making their second appearances. Riley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's cool to be on this side of it now, before hosting the event. So it's good to be on this side.
Yeah, you did a great job as host, so I'm looking forward to have you on as a guest. And Danny, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. It's a lot of pressure now. I got two guys asking questions, I feel like.
Yeah, Riley requested this two-person duo here, so I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to hop right in, and we're going to start with you, Danny. Danny, what is Riley's most prized possession?
Prized possession. Is that can we say family members or?
I figured that's what was going to be the cop-out answer, but I'm thinking maybe something he keeps in the office or something he holds near and dear to him that's like an object.
Okay, well, I think he just got it last week. Before last week, I would have said that his first jersey, his Sharks jersey, with his first NHL game. But I think the purchase from his wife last week of the Range Rover, I would say, is probably the big one right now. And we'll go with that.
You're bang on. You're bang on with that.
Oh, man, I saw that on the Instagram. The smile was going, end to end on that.
It still is. It still is. I still look out in the driveway. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for you to drop the old BMW off at my house. I thought, you'd gift it to me or something. Maybe when you get the next Range Rover, just think of me. I don't know.
All right, will do.
All right, so same question for you. What's Danny's prized possession?
I think he has quite a few, but I'm going to go with one that I know he has hanging up in his house, and he actually gifted a car when he was MVP at the All-Star game, and he has the stick up in his office in his house, and gifted a car, I believe, to his sister when he won that one. So he's won quite a few things. Have a lot of he probably keeps dear and near to his heart.
He's right. There's two that are very special. My first NHL goal, puck, is something that I'll cherish for a long time. And also the game. It's like a nice frame that has the jersey from the All-Star game in 2007. Has the jersey, the game sheet. It has my stick that I used in there, and it has the keys to the car that I used. So it's a pretty cool frame.
Talk about gifting something.
Yeah, I got my my high school hat trick puck against Winnipeg, so that's pretty close, but that's awesome. All right, next question here. Danny, if Riley wins the lotto, what's he doing with the money?
He's investing in the Mariners, raising the salary cap so he can bring more players.
Yes, I would love that. I would love to pay all the guys more if I was allowed to. I think they put it on the line every night, and in our situation, for how much they do get paid, I think they go all out. Three games and 3 nights all weekend long.
For sure. What would you do with it if you besides giving the guys a little extra spending cash?
I would probably get a place down in Florida. I'd probably go Ritz-Carlton on the 17th floor, corner unit, big balcony.
All right. Question for you, O'Reilly. If Danny wins the lottery, what's he doing with the money?
Well, I think he's kind of won it already, but I think if he got more, I know Danny's extremely good with his money. He's not a guy to go out and blow it on random stuff. So I think he would continue probably to invest it into the market. during quarantine. We've had some good banter about the stocks and stuff like that, and I've learned a lot from him. So I think he would probably go more into that to help out his 3 boys, and for them to kind of have a good life as they get older as well.
Yeah, I would say we love traveling, so that would be one of the things. And then, I mean, Riley is right. I was very fortunate and won the lottery when I signed with the Flyers. So it would be to give back even more people that are in need.
Yeah, and I know we got Riley Nasdaq on here, so Adam for that little nickname. So I need to get a live stream of you guys going of giving out some stocks or something. This drags on.
I don't want to be responsible for people's losses.
Don't listen to my ideas. I'll tell you.
All right, moving on here. Danny, what actor, so male or female, would Riley want to hang out with? Like maybe grab a drink with or something, pick their brain a little bit.
Man, that's a tough one. That I don't know. I'm not sure. I would say he would probably want to hang out with a hockey player. So is there a hockey player that's been an actor? I can't think of. There was Ian LaPerriere, James Van Riemsdyk, Matt Carl, and Scott Hartnell played in that movie, Almost 40 or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah. This is 40 or something like that.
This is 40. So maybe he wants to hang out with those guys. I don't know. That's a tough one.
What do you think, Riley? Who do you want to hang out with? Maybe Ryan Reynolds, Canadian guy?
Canadian guy. I'm also a huge fan of Jimmy Fallon and Adam Sandler. Jimmy Fallon has a place not far from here in New Hampshire. And I think Adam Sandler I think he's just hilarious in his movies. So just to hang out with him, probably have a bunch of good laughs.
Yeah, for sure. He just shot one down in Salem, Mass. My sister is waiting to see. She went down to be an extra, so it's coming out like next month. She's waiting to see if she made it in there.
That's awesome. That's great.
Extra little bonus thing. Who would you want to play you in your movie, Riley?
Oh, I'd probably have to go with Jack Black. I think we have a lot of similarities.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
That'd be a good one. He's giving the pre-game speech in the room. Oh wow! All right. Hey,
you can picture it. You can already see it coming.
Yeah, I'm taking.
He would definitely be able to do the boomerang.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta get this one on. Maybe Paramount, Universal, hit us up. All right. So same question for you, Riles. What actor is Danny gonna hang out with if he gets a chance?
Like I was honestly thinking. I think Danny and I share a lot of the same insights on a lot of stuff that we talk about. But when we talk, we don't necessarily break down movies. We're breaking down a lot of hockey games and players and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think kind of the same thing. I think Danny would probably like to go and grab dinner with a hockey player. But going off of that, maybe he would like to go out with Cam Neely since he played in.
Seabass. He was
Seabass. Yeah,
Seabass. Maybe as an actor, Cam Neely, you can go hang out.
He's a Dumb and Dumber, right?
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. And but no, I feel the same way. I don't really watch movies even on the bus. I've doing other stuff on there as well. So not big into the movies. And Danny and I never really break them down.
It's funny because one of my best friend in Quebec is an actor. His name's Patrice Bélanger. So he's done a few French movies, unfortunately, probably stuff that most of our fans won't have seen. But he's definitely someone I'd like to hang out with. And the other guy that I really like his work is Matt Damon. I'd love to hang out with him just to discuss his taste of pro sports team. I know he's from the Boston area, but we need to probably have a little chat about that. But I think he's a great actor. He's one of my favorite.
Awesome. And who's playing you in your movie?
Well, I wish he could, but I'm sure he's too busy for a little guy like me. But he would definitely be my first choice.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just thinking, going off the hockey player thing, maybe I heard a podcast with Hansen on it. What's his name? Dave Hansen, played one of the Hansen brothers. Interview. And then, honestly, going off that same movie, I mean, obviously he's passed on, but Paul Newman would be a heck of a guy to sit down and swap stories with.
Yeah, he would have been great to hang out with.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next section here. So you guys can both give an answer on these. First question here: what is your worst road trip experience? These might vary a little bit between Riley and Danny, but what's a road trip you went on? You know, maybe the bus broke down, something like that.
I've been on a couple broken down buses, but I have to say my worst road trip experience was going to play in the KHL. Going over to Russia, it wasn't really a road trip. I wish it ended a lot quicker than it did. But yeah, just I like the comforts of being at home and not going over there on the 2-month road trip that I was on.
Where were you at in Russia?
Briere, Kazakhstan. Okay. Traveling around Kazakhstan and playing in Russia. Yeah, it was something I think it was cool at the time, but during the same time, when I got to Germany, it felt like I was back home. Very North Americanized in Germany, but it was definitely a road trip that I wanted to end quicker than it started.
What about you, Danny? Worst trip experience?
I've had a couple bus experience. One, we got stuck in a ditch when I was 16 years old. The players pulling us out of the ditch. I've had a couple scary flights where we're fighting through storms and you're bouncing around. But I think that the worst, personally, and it wasn't that it was worse, it was just that I flew across country 4 times within about 48 hours, and I didn't need to. I was playing in the American League for the Springfield Falcons, and I was called up to a game with the Phoenix Coyotes. So I flew from Hartford to Phoenix to show up for the game, to be told that, the player I was coming to replace was fine. He could play. So I wasn't playing. But the next morning we were flying across country back to New York City to play in New York, about 5 minutes. The next night in Washington, another 4 minutes of ice time. And then we got back on the plane back to Phoenix. And while we were in the air, about an hour after we had taken off, I was told that when we landed in Phoenix, I had to stay at the airport. I had a flight waiting for me to Hartford to play in Springfield the following night. So I went across country 4 times. Well, all I could have done is drive from Springfield to New York, meet the team in New York, play in New York, bus to Washington, and then drive back to Springfield. So it was the air miles got loaded up on that trip.
That is quite the trip there. I remember when we had the period of time where we had Eddie Matsushima here. He was telling me about his story before, and it was not as bad as that, but it was something similar where he was driving all up and down the East Coast. So
yeah,
crazy.
Hey, Danny, do you think your trip compares to Ryan Culkin's trip?
I think it's similar. I think it's similar, but the difference is he had to play about 25 minutes. I had to play 4 or 5, so it's a little easier on the body on the ice.
Got that right.
Do you guys have any really good road trip experiences? Like your favorite road trip you went on? I know a lot of the guys here, they like going to Newfoundland. stopping in Toronto, things like that?
Definitely, there's a lot of good cities. I was fortunate. I mean, you have the West Coast trips where you can have a lot of fun away from hockey when you play in California, up and down the coast with Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. Going to Florida is always fun. The big cities like New York, Chicago, Montreal, they're always a blast. I think my favorite city was Chicago. My favorite place to go was probably Montreal, but just because I had so many friends and family coming to the games, and playing in Montreal is pretty wild. So I would say that was probably my favorite road trip.
For me, these two American League teams aren't even in the league anymore. But playing in Worcester, so cold, and we always played within our division all the time. But we got the chance to make the Texas trip to Houston and San Antonio, and all the guys would pack shorts. And San Antonio had this place called the River Walk. It was just unbelievable to go out there. It was just restaurants, places to eat, drink. So it was really nice to get out of Worcester and down into there to some warmer weather. But kind of off of a really good road trip. I went on, it was my first game. I played, I think Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday night I flew from Boston to Phoenix. Didn't even sleep, and didn't pregame nap. Got in there just for my morning skate, and did that, and then played my first game. So that was a cool road trip for myself on flying cross country just a little bit there, and stepping into a game, into a 3-3. So my body was conditioned for it back then.
Well, it looks like you're getting back in shape with that biking video yesterday. You get the what is that, a Peloton, maybe something, a little trainer there.
I definitely need to pick one of those up.
Yeah, these guys in the AHL, they got it easy now, huh? With that Western Division, they're just like rolling through Vegas and Palm Springs.
Yeah, no doubt. That's
San
a lot better than. Yeah. In Worcester, we had Lowell, Manchester, Springfield, Hartford, Portland. So, no, it's a little bit different playing out in California, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, next question here. So Riley was saying before that you guys are on the same page a lot, work together a lot. So this question here was, what is something you guys agree on most of the time, like whether that's a philosophy for getting players, recruiting players, on the ice, things like that. And then what's something maybe you guys butt heads on sometimes that you have to come to a middle ground?
Honestly, there's not much that we butt heads on. It's funny because from day one, from the first day we met, we have the same mindset as far as how to build a team, how we wanted our teams to play, what we think, how to evaluate players. I mean, it's to a point where sometimes it's freaky, and I just start laughing because it's exactly what I was thinking. And there's some times where he'll ask me about a player, and he hates the player, and I hate him too, but then I'm afraid to say something really mean because I'm thinking, okay, it's probably his friend or something like that. So I try to suss the blow, and then he comes over me and he says, this guy, I can't stand him. Start laughing because I was trying to be politically correct to not offend him. I don't know how many times that's happened. So it's actually pretty funny. Riley might have a better answer on what we butt heads about.
I don't really think we butt heads about much. I think with me thinking more on the hockey side, Danny's hockey side, and managing the business side of it as well, is I don't even necessarily think it's butting heads. But it's more of I'm trying to get maybe an easier travel schedule with a flight, and he's telling me, no, you got to take the bus. So I think that that might be really the only thing that I kind of go to him for on, more of a financial type standpoint. And, Danny's looking at both sides of it as well on our travel, but also how much it does cost as well. So But I always know where he's coming from, and he's spent a lot of time at various levels and over in Europe. So he understands what players are going through just like I do. So it's always good to get just another opinion on what is the best option to take. So it's great to have Danny there and bouncing questions off of him. And he just tells you what I like the most is he just tells you straight from the hip. Sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't really like that answer, but you're going to get it that way. And I think that's the best part about it.
All right. So I think the answer to the lotto question is if you hit the lotto, you're going to buy the team a PJ.
Yep. Private jet, Mariners on the side, everything.
We'll have to check to see if it's a salary cap violation.
Yeah, that'd be like how they recruit players on the no state tax thing. If someone's got a PJ and no one else does that, that'll be
correct. Yeah.
Agents.
You know what? I would get a chef. I'd get a chef for the guys. Breakfast.
Oh, that's a no. Salary violation there. You can get the private jet, but not the chef.
Okay.
Kind of going back to what you guys were just saying in there, what's maybe something like, I don't know, philosophy, without obviously giving away too much philosophy-wise, or when you're looking to build a team, like what is kind of the, I guess, identity, or what are you looking for?
I think we both we were both pretty skilled guys. So we like skill, but also the way that both of us also played was we played on the line a lot. I think you could probably Google some videos of Danny and Ovechkin going at it once in a while, and always playing on the line, but not necessarily crossing it. So we always look for those types of guys that can bring that type of play. A skilled player that likes to play on the inside of the rink. We don't want the perimeter guys taking the easy way. And that's the kind of the way that, we see from a forward and defense standpoint. But at the same time, when building it out, we always want to have a good mix of guys and also just good people, people that have drive, that want to get to the next level. And when you have those people, it brings everybody on board and everybody's going in the same direction.
Yeah, and the one thing, we love guys that are that have good hockey sense, that can skate. We try to have a fast team and a team that's very competitive. We don't need, because you're not going to get it all. So sometimes I think we've given up maybe a little bit on the size. And that's why you have guys like Robidoux or Moisin, to help you out in that department. But we haven't been, a super physical team with a lot of fighters. We believe in skills and hockey sense. The other thing I would say is, from day one, we believe that it starts from the backhand and you build it up from there. We've had a lot of success, I think, and we've been getting better from, good solid goaltending and building from there, defense, and then, having some good centermen really helping you build, from there, from that core.
Briere, you probably see it more, but we've gone into games that we're missing a bunch of forwards, or they're called up or hurt, but we always look back and we say, okay, we got Lecouve and net, and we have the best 60 in the league. And we still always feel going into the game, even though we're losing some firepower up front, that we still have a chance to win. So that's kind of how we always see it going in. It would suck to go into a game not having the best 60 in the league, and having 10 really good forwards. You always need those guys back there to break pucks out.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely been blessed with some great goaltending thus far. All the guys that have been in there, really. And then I actually asked Ryan Farrell the other day, as this introductory thing that Keels does with them. I was like, how was it playing defense? Because he, like you said, we had a rough go of it this past season where Ryan Farrell ended up having to play. I don't know. It was a few games. It wasn't just, wasn't it? It was more than one game, I believe.
Yeah. No, I think that's the best thing about Ryan. He can play in all sorts of positions. He's a great on face-offs. He's great on the penalty kill. You could throw him in the net front on the power play. And then you could even throw him on D. So I think it goes hand in hand with that. I'm still waiting to see if he can play goalie or not.
It really helps to have someone who's as versatile as he is. It's a great added bonus because you're always going to have those stretch in the season where you're going to lose a few guys. And when you have, good defensemen, they're bound to get called up at some point. So it's good to have a guy like Ryan Farrell to bail us out when we're losing a lot of our defensemen.
All right, so Ryan, I expect this on your Instagram story being shared all over your Facebook since we gave you the tire pump there. Moving on here, I asked Danny this last time when he was on with Cam, so I'll ask you, Riley, before we wrap up. You got any good prank stories?
Yeah, I used to prank the odd guy. I remember in Cleveland, I put all of my trainers their clothes into the cold tub and then put it into the freezer. That was a good one. I also like to cut the little Gatorade cups. I'd cut them in half and put them on the shin pads. So when you pull the shin pads off, the water would splash onto the guy's face in the morning, or put a little cup under the helmet. So when they slid the helmet off the stall, the water would usually splash onto them. So, but you always have to know when you're handing out the pranks, you either have to be sneaky about it, like Ryan Culkin, and have no one know it's you, or you got to prank yourself so no one knows that it's you either, because you got to expect it's going to be coming back.
Yeah, Danny said that on the last one. That was the
ink.
He put ink in everyone except for Shane Doan's gloves.
Yeah, it was Todd Simpson. He pranked himself and he left someone else, like showing like it was someone else who he didn't prank, and he pranked the team. So it was a double whammy.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to be smart.
Yeah. Okay. So wrapping up here, I know Danny again answered this before, but favorite fall activity. I was doing summer activities over, when the weather was a little bit warmer, but what's your favorite fall activity?
Being up here, we in Maine with all the berry picking, apple picking, we've gone to a couple places already. We were you pick, and we've hammered on some nice Macintosh apples for Amber and Peyton to make me some apple pies. Then also just blueberries and stuff like that as well. I think it's awesome up here with the amount of stuff you can do outside.
What about you, Danny? What's your favorite fall activity?
Well, it falls in between. I mean, golf in fall is amazing. In the Philly area, we can get to play till, almost December. October and November is great. But you're also just on the edge when you go up north of starting the ski season. So I wasn't allowed to ski when I played professional hockey for a year. Since I retired, I've gotten back into it, and I get excited when the snow starts falling, and I know I can start thinking about going out on the snows.
Yeah, I haven't been. I think the girlfriend's going to teach me this winter, hopefully. I tried to go snowboarding once, and I accidentally ran into an instructor and got kicked off the mountain. So maybe skiing. I need control of both my legs.
Yeah, skiing is a lot easier.
Yeah. So we're going to give that a whirl this year. And last question here. Do you guys watch much football? That's kind of what I've been doing since the fall started. You guys got a football team you watch?
Yeah.
I've jumped on Danny's wagon. I don't know. I might be slowly creeping off the wagon though.
Jump off right now. You still have time. Find a new team. Yeah, it's been a rough go for the Eagles here in Philadelphia.
They are not flying.
We wanted. So and then they have 3 tough opponents coming up, so they could easily be 0-5-1. And that isn't anything worse than a tie in football.
Oh
I was just
my
gonna
God.
say that.
Yeah.
Like that's
I-
allowed.
I would have rather having a loss this weekend against Cincinnati than a tie.
That's what I said. I would have kicked that field goal even if it meant I lost the game. I'd rather lose than settle for a tie. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can
Maybe-
tell you that the Eagles sports community is on suicide area.
Oh, really? They're usually so calm about things like that.
I love it.
But Riles, don't worry. You can hop on the Cam Newton train. He's taking us all the way to the Super Bowl, so you're more than welcome on board.
I might float down to the Tampa on the Brady train here and see how he does. I don't know.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it, and hopefully we can get back to some hockey soon.
I hope
Awesome.
so.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks for having us.
All right. See you guys.